Do you want to feel happier? Do you want to feel more radiant and more alive? Or to go beyond alive and truly feel like you are thriving? That's what I'm here for. Helping you find that best you that you know is in there. It is. And you can start accessing that you today. It's possible. If you're ready for a shortcut to just that, let's work together. Reach out and let's work one-on-one to transform you and your life into happy, into thriving. Reach out to me and book a quick call. It's in the show notes, and let's get you there. Are you really committed and ready? Then let's do it. Personally, I'm the happiest I've ever been thanks to all the practices that I've made a part of my life. You can be too. It is here for you, I promise. You can also access my course, The Youthfulness Hack, which is all about feeling good and getting radiant and all the things I do concentrated in one spot. Go there today and use code AMY15 for 15% off right now, only for listeners of this show. And if you are truly ready to have accountability and live happy, book a call with me today. The world needs your best. You deserve your best. Hello, and welcome to the Amy Edwards Show. I'm your host, Amy Edwards, and I'm sitting in a different space today. If you're watching, I'm downstairs in my place. And I am excited because today I'm going to do the 5 easy, simple habits you can use to supercharge your life. I am a big believer in simple. I hate it when things start to feel complicated. It confuses me and it feels like way too much. So I thought, okay, what are some very, very simple things that I absolutely swear by that maybe we can put a twist on too? If you've been, writing in a journal, how can I put a little bit of a twist on it too? So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about 5 really simple habits to supercharge your life, supercharge your intention for the day, supercharge your happiness, your inner peace, your inner fire, all those things that we want so bad. At least I do. That's how I want to live my life. I want to live my life in a way where I feel peaceful and good, and yet at the same time, supercharged and energized and happy. Is that too much to ask in this world? All right. I don't know. I feel like my algorithm is just constantly throwing information at me, and it's overload sometimes. I feel bombarded. If you feel like that, then let's just brush all that aside for a minute. You don't have to have an ice bath. I have one and I don't even do it. You don't have to get complicated with your biohacking. You don't have to eat a certain diet. None of that. We have to do, we hold this power, and it's so simple, and we make it so complicated. And so it frustrates me sometimes. And I know that I'm sharing a lot of information on the shows, and that can feel like overload too. So I just thought, let's take a deep breath and just tap into some really simple things. So that's what I wanted to do today. And plus for myself, I'm about to move, and that can feel so chaotic. And so I thought, what are things that I can do too when I'm faced with upheaval in a good way, but upheaval in my own life? So let's just tap into that. Want to transform your life one habit at a time? Same. Okay. So this is a simple set of habits that we can ease into over 5 days, right? You could just do one every day, implement it, and then even take a couple of days off on the weekend and then come back to it during the week. It's still going to pay off. Small steps add up. Back when I first started my personal development journey, I was a huge fan of Tony Robbins. He was the first guru. Do we want to say that? He was the first self-help. I almost said overlord. That's not right. He was the first self-help big voice that I too did too. And I was really into it. I think I bought Personal Power on cassette, if that tells you anything. And one of the things he said though is consistent action on a daily basis adds up, and that it's all about taking small steps. And that has rang in my head for 30 something years. So that's what this is about. It's about small steps. It's about consistent action. It's about getting back to consistency when you fall off, because we all have ebbs and flows of it. And that's okay. I guess I say we all. I'm sure there's people who don't, but I do. I will have times when I get too busy. Maybe it's having kids, or maybe it's just what's going on with work, whatever. And so I'll have times when it feels like I fall off. I think I talked about this recently, right? I got depressed. I don't know. This was just months ago. I got kind of down, and I realized that I hadn't meditated for like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, duh. So when I got back into it, I was like, now I feel better. And you guys, I don't meditate for, you know what? We're going to discuss this. We're going to get into that. So this is not about perfection at all. In case you didn't get it up from what I just said, it's not about perfection. It's about embracing the messiness and unpredictability of life, the imperfection of life. And all my experiences, divorce, motherhood, work, they've all taught me that when you consistently do things and leave your comfort zone and put things into practice, then you can't help but learn and grow. Back when I was a musician, when I used to prepare to go on stage, there were certain rituals and intentions and habits that I had to stick with, or else, you know, my guitar would be out of tune and I wouldn't have power and my singing wouldn't be, you know, on pitch. And so I set myself up for success with really simple habits that I did all the time. So I looked into what we could do with simple habits to set our day up for success, just like I did in those times. Okay. So we have two options with these habits. One, you can dive in all at once and do all 5 every day, which is not hard. In fact, it's super easy. It takes like 15 minutes total. Or you can do one each day. So I'm going to phrase it both ways as we go into this. So I recommend 5 days of habits each week, and give yourself a little bit of flexibility. And then on weekends, if you want to, you can. But if you fall off or something or forget, then you've got a little wiggle room, which is always really nice. So I guess the thing is that it can be a tall order to do things every single day. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't had times in my life when I've been super diligent and done things every single day, made a list and all that. But you don't have to. You really don't have to. And honestly, I don't know if that was super healthy for me, being that diligent. It instilled things in me that I needed to go forward, that I know benefit me. But at the same time, I think I might have been a little too diligent. And I think that can be the wrong direction for our mental state and for growth mindset and for peace of mind in this moment, right? Like, because you end up beating yourself up, and that's always the wrong direction. It's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to stay in the good headspace to keep magnetizing all the good to us and live in that really peaceful flow, open heart space, that detachedness, y'all. Okay, so here's what you're going to need for this experiment. Do we want to call it this 5 habits supercharge? Let's call it that. You're going to need a notebook. I bought a new one and I love it. I should be sitting here with it. And it's got like the galaxy on it, just like my background that I love so much. A notebook, a pen, a timer on your phone. I know you got that. Some note cards, or cut up some pieces of paper. Doesn't matter. Or use Post-it notes, and maybe a Sharpie for those, and a place to sit. So notebook, pen, your phone, which has your timer, note cards with a Sharpie, and someplace to sit. Maybe quiet and peaceful. So, okay, here's one thing though. When you start doing this, go to bed a little earlier. Go to bed at a decent time. Don't binge watch or resist the urge or limit your binge watching. I binge watched last night, for instance, but I was still falling asleep at 9:30. So Justin's out of town right now. So I considered that a plus. So I think that was a success. So I still went to bed and got up early and did my stuff. So set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier than you usually do. It's going to give you a little bit of alone time. Personally, I like to set mine for about an hour early, but that's because sometimes I look at my phone and I take my time making coffee and that, or tea or whatever I'm drinking, but it gives you some alone time in the morning. So if you're not giving yourself that alone time in the morning, highly encouraged. That is a habit in itself. It's not included in these 5 exactly. I suppose it's like an overarching habit. So set your alarm a little bit early, get up a little bit early. If your household starts rolling like mine does, and you've got to make lunch and you've got to wake people and you've got to fold laundry and you've got to do whatever it is you got to do, let the dog out, everything else. This gives you some alone time that is ultimately one of the most valuable things about life. I love it so much. It helps you set your intention for the day, which we're going to talk about. All right, habit 1. You can do this on day 1, or this is the first part of the 5 habits. So you're up 15 minutes earlier, and that's your first step. These are golden moments. And so I like to make my coffee or tea. I've been on a coffee kick. I go through phases with that. So make something that you enjoy. Lemon water, doesn't matter what. Maybe it's just water. Then you sit, savor the quiet. Savor it. Get your notebook and your pen. Get your phone. Set your timer for 5 minutes. That's it. We're just going to do 5 minutes. And we're going to write affirmations. Okay? Affirmations are simple sentences that are or will be true. You don't have to believe them right now. They're beliefs, but you don't have to believe them right now. Okay? So they're positive though. Sometimes they're just factual, I suppose, according to the way we're doing it right now. This is the little twist that I want to talk about. So you're going to start by writing down the truest statements that you can think of. For example, I am, insert your name. Like, my name is Amy. I live in Austin. I have 2 daughters. I have brown eyes. So these are simple and true. So you can create a short or longer list of those types of statements. And then you're going to get a little bit more creative and branch out. Okay. Whether they're true or not doesn't matter, because they are going to be true. So just start to go. The sky is the limit, but we're going to keep it small. That's part of the way that we get ourselves to believe. Start by writing something like, I'm a fantastic present and caring parent or partner or friend. I live up to my potential every day. I love myself immensely. I exude power. I am beautiful. I am exuding love. I live in a positive energy space. I'm worthy of all I desire. That's a good one. Or just, I am worthy. I don't really like I am enough, you guys. I think it conjures up that you're like not as abundant as possible. So how about I am inherently abundant? I am prosperous. There's so many that you could do. And whether they're true right now is not the point. The key is write down things that you would like to be true, things that would make you happy if they were your reality. So just go for it. Write freely without editing until your timer goes off at 5 minutes. So continue with whatever's on your mind. And once the timer rings, boom, you're done. That's a habit. Done. So you can just do this on the first day and then build up over the next few days, or you can do all these at once, as I said. So habit number 2, you can do this next. You can do it the next day. Doesn't really matter. Just do that first one at least. All right. Second habit, or day 2, second habit, that is about clearing your mind, getting clear in your mind. So you're going to build on what you just did. So do that 15 minutes early, getting up. It's a new morning routine. Then write the affirmations again if you're doing this the second day. And now you're going to add this little meditation. So I read something a long time ago, and it was like 30 minutes a day can benefit you of meditation. And I'm like, what are they talking about? 30 minutes? No, as I mentioned earlier, I do about 5 minutes or maybe 10, maybe 12. Sometimes I'll do like 16, something. I know I pick random numbers, but it's okay. You don't need a lot. We're going to just do 5 in this habit setting supercharge that we're doing. So 5 gets you in a better headspace. The idea is that you are clearing your head and training yourself to clear your head when you need it. I've talked about this so many times too, but that is what it's all about. For me, anyway. It's about not having your thoughts run your life. You are the master of your thoughts rather than your thoughts being the master of you. I saw someone the other day that I hadn't seen in a long time, and this person did not pause their thoughts. I mean, it was like a giant run-on sentence. It challenged me because I got challenged in like judgment. I got challenged in like, please stop talking. I got challenged in so many ways. And when we talked about meditation at one point, this person was like, oh yeah, I can't. Oh my gosh, it's just the hardest thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that is a prime example of needing the meditation, because it's training our minds not to run us. I felt like this person wasn't even listening. And Justin was around too, and he commented on it. And I was like, I know, it was a lot to take. And if you ever feel like you are in that hamster wheel of thoughts where they just don't stop, this is the way to help them slow down. So you are living in more of a space of neutrality and clearness. So again, 5 minutes a day is enough. We're going to set our timer for 5 minutes. And one of my favorite analogies for this is imagining the cup filled with water. And this is an exercise you can do when you're doing the meditation too. You imagine a cup filled with water and sand. Each grain of sand is a thought. And when you stir it up, the water becomes cloudy. When you hold it still and let the sand settle, the water gets clear. And your mind is just like that water. So clear your mind. Let those racing thoughts fall. And your mind can relax and feel clearer. Life just feels easier too. You're not running. You're able to sleep easier even. It's like a mental workout to train your brain to clear when needed. So you can repeat, you can think of that imagery. You can repeat inhale, exhale. You can just focus on your breath. But whatever it is, sit for 5 minutes. This is not about a guided meditation either, which I know is nice to lean into, but it's not about that guided meditation. It is about really, truly just sitting. Now, I do often listen to the sound of trickling water. It clears out any extraneous sounds. So you can't, whatever. There's not a lot of rules, okay? I'm not trying to make a bunch of rules on you. I'm just saying 5 minutes, and don't lean on something that's a distraction like someone else's voice guiding. This is about really helping our mind clear on demand. COD, clear on demand. Sorry, my phone just rang. Turn it off. Okay. So that is the second one. Now we're up to 10 minutes a day, right? You're already getting up 15 minutes earlier. So I guess that's an extra habit. We're going to consider that the umbrella habit. So,
are you ready to up-level your pleasure practice? I have in mind, and the main things that have helped me are the tools that I've found from Wands. Wands creates luxurious products that encourage us all to honor our body, celebrate our sexuality, and live in pleasure. With more pleasure all the time. One of my favorites, if you listen to this show, then you probably already know, is the CERVIX Wand. Wands has trademarked their #1 best-selling glass pleasure wand. It's for vaginal and anal de-armoring, and it's designed for cervical and G-spot stimulation. And let me tell you, it's incredible. It's helped thousands of women become more connected to their bodies and their pleasure, and supports them to heal pelvic pain through self-yoni massage, and helps awaken more pleasure. Just recently, I've ordered the Venus Wand, another trademarked wand from Wands, and it's designed to activate and awaken the G-spot and more. Also, don't miss one of their new offerings, which are free bleed blankets that can be used as waterproof intimacy blankets. They have a beautiful selection now available. But take a look around at wands.com, that's WAANDS, because they have a huge selection of incredible items like yoni eggs, crystal pleasure wands in amethyst, black obsidian, anything that your heart desires, and so much more. Check them out at wands.com, that's WAANDS.com, and use my link in the show notes to get 10% off, or simply enter my code Amy Edwards at checkout. Again, that's WAANDS, wands.com. Y'all, I have started using higher dose products. And I am such a fan. You know, I don't put anything on this podcast that I am not 100% completely behind. And I have a special discount code for you for all Higher Dose products. I'm so excited. If you don't know, Higher Dose is a wellness company. They have wellness tech products, they have tools, they have supplements, and they have body care. They have so many things that are hot right now too, that are really biohacking and up-leveling our lives at home, which is really cool. They have an infrared sauna blanket. They have an infrared PEMF mat that I'm so excited to be sharing about soon. One of my favorites though is the red light face mask. It stimulates collagen, it activates glowing skin, reduces fine lines, regenerates cells, and it's soft. It's not like one of the hard plastic ones, so you can kind of move it around on your body, which I've been doing, and I am seeing amazing results. I am absolutely addicted to it. I use it every single night, and I'm using it in conjunction with one of their other products, the Glow Serum. And I'm very picky about what I put on my skin, and I am loving the Glow Serum. It's specially formulated to plump and hydrate and stimulate radiant skin, which that's the goal. They have a ton of other products too. Magnesium ingestibles, magnesium body care, which has a healing oil and a serotonin soap that you can use in your bath, which I've been using too. It boosts your mood, enhances your skin, and deepens your detox, gets you calmed down. Anyway, I'm a fan, so I'm so excited to offer you 15% off using my code MAGIC15. Go to the show notes. You can click through on the link right there, or if you go to Higher Dose, just enter the code MAGIC15 and you'll get 15% off. Higher Dose has been featured in Goop, Glamour, Elle, Vogue, Bazaar, Allure, basically you name it. And there's a reason why. So go check it out. It's at higherdose.com and enter my code MAGIC15 for 15% off.
All right. Habit number 3, you can implement this on day 3 or all at once. So this one is about reading through those daily affirmations, the ones that we wrote at the beginning. So what this does is plant positive ideas in your head. And research has shown it has numerous benefits, including boosting your self-esteem and performance. It's about setting yourself up for success and reinforcing beliefs. So once again, get up early, spend we're up to 10 minutes. So this is another 5, right? So this doesn't even take that long. So get your note cards or Post-it notes, whatever you're using. I kind of like note cards for this. So the first 2 cards are going to be easy, right? I am your name. I live in your city. Now, you're going to write a statement on each card that follows. So write anything you want. Don't worry about being perfect either. These are fluid. Just start with basics, but get crazy too. Get as crazy as you want. It's all right. This is only you looking at them anyway. I mean, I say go for it. It gets easier the more you do it too. So once you have written them, read through them. You can use the ones that you wrote already. Read through them, starting with your name and where you live. You know those are true. So just breathe through that statement, feel that truth, and know it's your reality. And then hold that breathing, that truth feeling, that reality feeling, and then feel that when you read the bigger statements, the ones that maybe you have a little more trouble believing, the ones that say, I am prosperous right now. I am overflowing with abundance. Oof, that's just as true as your name. That's just as true as I live in Austin, Texas, period. Whether you believe it or not, we're feeling that belief when we say that. I love affirmations. All right. So you're building that conviction for the statements, even the ones that might be works in progress. It's all right. This is a new habit. These cards. Oh, I love it. I also love the idea of maybe writing them in your notes app on your phone and maybe reviewing them out loud in your car later in the day. But that's an addendum to the habit, okay? That's just a little icing on the cake if you want to do it. All right. Habit number 4 to supercharge your life. And you can do this on day 4 or you can do it all together. So you're still getting up 15 minutes early, doing your morning routine, reading through the affirmation cards now, right? And then here's one more practice, and it's gratitude. Gratitude. So You can do this when you write now, each day. You don't have to continue to write affirmations, or you can write affirmations and this. Write at least one thing that you're grateful for. I like 3, and it doesn't have to be fancy. Literally, some days when I'm not feeling it, when I'm feeling down, I have to be like, I'm grateful for, breathing. I'm grateful to be sitting on this couch. I mean, like, it can be so small. It doesn't have to be anything mega. I'm grateful for running water, So sometimes you might need to search for it. That is totally okay. Just remember to be grateful for everyday things. That's part of the process. You can get bigger things too, but it's crucial to write it down, because when you put something on paper, it becomes concrete and your brain processes it as real. How awesome is that? So gratitude. That's the 4th one. Supercharge. Yeah, I was a singer. One of it. Okay. So the 5th habit, the 5th day / habit for transformation that we're going to implement, and then you're going to move forward with these. So that day, and you can write this down or not, do one nice thing, and you can do it in the moment. You can write it down, what you're going to do. You can put it on your calendar. However you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Do one nice thing consciously. So it can be as small as you want it. Maybe you just want to make someone's favorite meal. Maybe you want to add greenery to your kid's dinner plate, or make things into a smiley face. Maybe you want to write a special note to your partner and put it under their pillow. Maybe you want to serve them coffee in bed. Maybe you want to send a friend a text to let them know that they're a badass and they're going to kick ass at their new job. It doesn't have to be anything major. You don't have to go to the soup kitchen, although that's nice too. You just have to do one nice thing. I had someone do this for me today. Clarissa Cardenas, also known as the Concert Queen, sent me a text a little while ago. And it was just, what did she say? I'll read it to you. She said, I'm thinking of you. I miss your light, and I hope you're doing amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, that made me feel so good. I mean, simple as that. How about that? Justin did it too. Justin does it. I don't know if I should use him as an example. He does it a lot. But are you doing this on a daily basis? Finding one thing. And then you can expand it down the road. But when you make it a habit to do one thing, you're training your brain to look for the good in life, same with the gratitude, and to add more love and kindness and peace to the world through these small acts. Because those are the things people remember. I'm going to remember that text that she sent me. It made me feel really good. So yeah, it goes along with gratitude too. And we are striving to implement these habits. Remember, 5 days a week, not 7. You don't have to do 7. If you miss a day, you can make it up on the weekend or another day. So the idea is not to beat yourself up. Kindness to yourself is part of the program. And bonus habit, if you can look in the mirror and say, I love you. And yeah, you can work up to 5 minutes for that too, which will make you cry. So do that before you put makeup on. So yes, self-love habit. I'm a big fan of that too. I didn't include that in this, but you are showing love to yourself. And I would encourage you to, in the affirmations, I love myself and forgive myself. Whatever you can do those affirmations to, and say to yourself, that is beautiful too, and feel it. So those are my Supercharge easy habits. And it's not about achievement, although doing these things will help you achieve more. It's about fostering happiness deep in your core, which paradoxically, when you do, you both achieve more and feel happier, detached from success, quote unquote success, and quote unquote achievement when you're doing these things. It allows more of that in and helps you get more done because you're in a more positive state from the get-go. And you are consciously choosing things that make you feel good and make you feel happier and more peaceful. And so in turn, you are more successful. You're not beating yourself up for perceived failures. It's wild. It's one of the great paradoxes of life. It seems counterproductive, but it's actually more productive. And I'm speaking from experience. And it's a state of surrender that you're living in. A state of surrender and a state of, I am going to put my mind in the best state, because our exterior world follows our interior world. We call it out. We call it in. You got to live it to see it, not the reverse, which is so back asswards. I don't even like that phrase, but I said it anyway. So, all right, small actions add up over time, you guys. So these are the 5 days with your little twist. Okay, your bigger umbrella habit, getting up earlier if you're not already doing that. Writing for 5 minutes, the affirmations, and then the gratitude and setting an intention for the day, right? Writing for 5 minutes, clearing your head / meditation, 5 minutes, reading through your affirmation cards and taking time to feel each one as true as the color of your hair. So write down then at least 3 things that you're grateful for. Well, at least one, but try to do 3. And do 1 act of kindness for someone else. So these habits have momentum. I once heard, I'm sure you've heard of it, the 5-minute rule. So you pick a task and you work on it for 5 minutes. You're like, I'm setting a timer, I'm working on it for 5 minutes. And that gets your energy flowing, and pretty much you end up doing it for a lot longer than 5 minutes. Have you heard that before? I've tried it. It works. It gets that energy flowing, so you find it easier to then tackle more significant projects. And that's what we have done here. So we've kept it short and sweet and easy to accomplish. And then as you continue these habits, you start to discover that you can accomplish much more than you thought, because you just feel better. And your mind is clearer, and you're grateful, and you're focusing on kindness. You're training your brain for all these things in such a simple way. It's almost like those workouts where they're like, work out for 20 seconds. This is so crazy, but it's true. These things don't have to be as complicated as we make them. So I just wanted to give you a shot of encouragement right now, because I think sometimes even me doing these shows, I can start to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to do this and this and this, and have cervical orgasms on top of it, and whatever it is. And it's like, give me a break a little bit. And you know what? You can just laugh about it and relax and embrace this present moment and let it all go. Just focus on these really, really easy things. Then perhaps step outside, enjoy some nature, some sunshine. Simple. So simple. I want to know what your thoughts were for this. If you have any thoughts about it, I would love to hear them. Please reach out to me anytime. You can respond to my newsletter. You can send me an email at amy@amyedwards.com. You can DM me at Real Amy Edwards on Instagram. I try to keep up with those. So I want to hear from you. And I just, I'm sending I would love to know your number 1 habit. Oh, in fact, if you send me those, I would love to read the thing that really gets you through, your number 1 thing. What is that? What would you add to this list? What are we thinking? Amy, I would put a twist on this. I would love to know. So tell me. And I love you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. The idea with this whole thing is that we can be our happiest right now and access happiness. And if you ever want to work with me one-on-one too, that is accessible. Absolutely. Just reach out to me. I am so here for it. And that's my dream, to help people that really want to do it. And that is why I'm here, really, because I do it for myself. And I'm like, how can we quit with all this stuff that feels like, oh, I've got to go buy this specific red light, or I've got to, I got to get the next thing. It's like, no, you know what? No, you don't. Those things are all wonderful enhancements. Even the things I have on this show advertised, the wands and the higher dose, those are great. You know what? They are enhancements to what we already have inside ourselves. So simple as that. I love you so much. I'm so happy to be connecting with you. I hope you got something out of this, because those affirmation cards are something that I have done in the past, and I'm doing again now. Like I said, I'm moving, so I'm excited to kind of fresh start, rebuild, and tap into some things that maybe I haven't done in a while. So I love you so much. Yeah. What was I going to say? I don't know. You know what? I'm setting up a new space in my new place. And so I've been meaning to do my YouTube twice a week too. That's going to be separate from this podcast. The podcast will still be out on YouTube on Thursdays, but I'm going to be releasing more shows twice a week, like Best You with Amy, twice a week on Mondays and Saturdays. So that is coming up soon on YouTube. So subscribe on my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. And I'm excited about that. That's something I have had on my to-do list for so long and I've wanted to do. So I'm going to be just sharing more. They're just solo episodes that are going to be shorter and easier to digest, if you will. So have a beautiful whatever, evening, day, night, morning, whatever it is. And know that I love you just so much. And I hope that these helped you. So reach out to me and let me know what you would add to it or what you liked, or what you were like, maybe that worked for me, or here's how I tweaked it. All right. I love you so much. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's at amyedwards.info or amyedwards.com. That's it. Subscribe to the newsletter too. I love you so much. Till next time.
This has been the Amy Edwards Show from Overcome Studios. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here. Sign up for our newsletter at amyedwards.com.